Um, when teachers and most employers kept telling me, like, you're not here to work, you're here to just make jokes. And then eventually you get fired or kicked out of class, and you kind of figure it out. I think eventually you get fired a lot. That's how I think you find out. When I got fired from accounting, sounds like a very responsible job, and I was very responsible. It's just not every day. Like, I don't want to be responsible every day. There's just a lot of days to be responsible. And, technically y'all pay me enough, but not enough to be responsible. That's 5 days a week, and y'all want me to work long hours, and then you get fired, and you're like, all right, what am I going to do here? And somehow you end up telling jokes because you want to talk about it. And then ta-da, somebody like, oh man, you might have a future in this. And then you find out you really don't get paid for a while, and then you start getting paid. And then here I am. Next in comedy, my plan is to actually shoot specials to start the whole trend of kind of purging your jokes. And I think by putting them in specials, you kind of lock them down and you can move on from it. So I'm going to start that process. I'm going to actually put out a special and hopefully people watch it. If not, then sounds like I'm going to be asking for that accounting job again. Who are my biggest influences with comedy? I would have to say, starting at the beginning, it definitely was the Richard Pryors, the Red Foxes, the Eddie Murphys. It transitions into the Sinbads as well, just because that was a household name around my house. And then now, being a comic, being in my 30s, I would say that it has to be Kevin Hart. Seeing what his struggle was before, seeing where he's at now, seeing the transitions that he's made, seeing how it's also a collective, how he made it about him and his homeboys to let you know that it's a long journey. You don't want to do it alone. I have a lot of admiration, as of lately, definitely for what Kevin Hart has done. My favorite part about touring and comedy mostly comes down to just like seeing the people. It's definitely not the traveling. You don't enjoy the traveling. You don't enjoy them losing your bags. You don't enjoy having to perform it, but you have on right then because it's usually just some comfortable stuff that might be a little dirty, and now you got to perform in it. But yeah, it's mostly the people. I think seeing the people, seeing the vibe of different cities, their acceptance. Jokes hit different in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. Especially if they don't speak English and you're just doing your jokes in English. It gets pretty interesting, for both parties. But yeah, no, I'll say the traveling aspect more so is rewarding once you get to the destination, the whole traveling part.
Have you ever bombed on stage?
When? What have you heard? Have I ever bombed on stage? I think you have to take it to the face. I think you have to bomb a couple times. I know clearly when my first bomb happened. I was at the Comedy Union and I talked about a woman's feet and didn't know that the woman, it was her birthday, rented out the whole room. So once you talk about her feet, kind of nobody wants to laugh at you because she's about to cry. And that was my first bombing experience where I was hosting the show and I had to keep getting on and off stage and they did not want to hear me at all. My second bombing, which was the worst bombing, happened to be in Aruba, and a baseball arena full of people. And went up there and they were upset because the headliner wasn't going to make it. The host wasn't supposed to tell him, but he was a little drunk. We're not going to name drop here today because we're going to do this job forever. And half of the audience got up and walked out as soon as they walked. So to this day, I don't know what I said on stage, but the whole time I was like, if I can wrap this cord around my head and jump off the front of the stage, this can be over quickly, and they might be more entertained. Tell you a little bit about Bigger. Bigger is a show that pretty much lets you know what the struggles are in your 30s. It's produced by Will Packer, so we've done Girl Trip, Think Like a Man. Has actually a great resume. They highlighted the struggles that you thought you were going to surpass by your 20s, and then now you're in your 30s and you find out, life's still fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you thought you was going to have it figured out, thought you was going to have everything together, like your credit, and you find out your credit's still fucked up. You know, you still got student loans. You still have the same bullshit going on, and I think that Bigger really highlights that from a totally different perspective than we've seen on TV. I think sometimes we get the filter approach, and we really don't capture the black experience. And by watching Bigger, you get to see everybody's struggles in their 30s, which don't necessarily get highlighted on Friends. Being a little bit more recognizable still is. Don't nobody recognize me. I'll be honest. As much as I want to be recognized, it's like, hey, you get recognized online, but it's not by people that you want. Mostly. And you're just like, oh, okay, cool. You slid in my DMs, but you shouldn't have. And now you're here, and this is awkward because I don't know if you're a fan or if you're shooting your shot, but I don't want to block a fan shot, but I do want to block yours for if that's what you're shooting. And then I will say it's also awkward sometimes because you don't get recognized, or you might look like somebody familiar, but you're standing next to somebody that is recognizable. So you kind of just like, oh, are you his son? Are you his security guard? Look, you look like a friend. You look like somebody that should be somewhere. So I don't get recognized yet, but when I do, I don't know what to change. I hope comedy brings to my life more free therapy. You know, I pay for therapy and I've done it on stage, and I feel like comedy is the best therapy. I feel like it is the best voice. I feel like through comedy, hopefully you get to know me. You get to know that you're not alone in whatever struggles that you find similar. But yeah, I hope that it keeps transcending. I hope that I can grow in comedy. Is that like a good politically correct answer? Like, I hope, comedy just, brings me around the world and all that. The things that kept me going and grinding with comedy, I think it was just the athletic background. I think that perseverance is there, that grit is there. I think that's also part of your upbringing. You don't know how to give up. You don't know what you're doing is wrong because there's no right way of doing it. So I think that you kind of surrender to like, hey, this is me, and then all you need is one laugh. That's all you need is one laugh. And you're like, all right, cool, I'm going to go back and get another laugh. I didn't get none yesterday, but I'm going to go back and get some more today. And then it might not come that day, but you're like, you know what? I'm going to get a laugh again. And then you kind of change it to where eventually you get a laugh. And they might not have been laughing at you, but you embraced it. They might have been laughing at your outfit. They might have been laughing at you almost failed. You might have a booger in your nose, but you take that laugh and you kind of run with it. You absorb all the laughs from every situation that you ever had because you want to give up, especially in the moment. When you're bombing, you want to give up right then and there. And then somehow you get off stage, like, it wasn't that bad. No, it was that bad. The advice that I would give to a comic just starting is have some source of income. Like have some form of money because you're not gonna get paid right away. And if you get paid right away, you're still not gonna know all the stuff that you need to know. So I would tell a young comic, have a job, have some money, sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever your hustle is, sell weed. It's find something to sell. I'm not gonna tell everybody to sell drugs because some people aren't good drug dealers. So you got to have some kind of money because you're not famous in the first 6 months like I thought.